All right, how you doing? Everything okay? You good?
Well, I'm in a little bit of a dilemma.
What's going on?
And I want to share it with you, but I want to make sure you keep a cool head and your demeanor doesn't go crazy.
Uh-oh.
So I want to share it, but you're going to have to be real cool if you hear what I'm about to say. Can you do that?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
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 So,
Girl, I'm trying to keep my promise. Yeah, let me in my calmness. Let me tell you, but I have this clairvoyancy, as you know, that keeps me aware of what people are saying and what twist they're putting on it and what's really real. I'm pretty much frustrated with everyone. My whole point was to talk through that because I'm aware that this wasn't going to work out, but you don't want to hear that because my frustration comes through when I say that. You didn't let me get past 2 sentences before you decided I had just dealt in my frustrations only. So how in the world am I even? How is my input even valid? I said 2 sentences, and you said this is not about your frustration. You don't even know what I was ultimately talking about. So okay, let me just deal with that one thing that you want me to deal with then. And this is not about me. This is just telling you what I know so that you'll know where my awareness comes from as I talk about what is most productive for. I'm telling you because I want you to know that as I encourage her, I'm aware of the bullshit that comes with her. And I'm also aware that comes from being in pure dysfunction her entire life. So that's the only reason why I was saying that. Because, and I wasn't saying that to dog her. I was saying that to say that I knew as she was telling me that this was not a good idea for a plethora of reasons. Because, you know what I mean? But all that's beside the point. And I'm not saying that to dog her. I'm saying that to let you know how aware I am of where it stands in her bullshit. Not that she's not magical. She's of our family. She's magical. She's a young black woman. She's magical, but in acknowledging her magicalness so that she can move forward, you can't skip over the bullshit. If you skip over the bullshit, how's it going to be confronted and conquered? So I'm not saying it to dog her. Maybe my candy coatedness or maybe my tone makes it sound that way, but that is the least of what it is. Unbeknownst to you, I talked to her. So I didn't know when I talked to her. Something just told me to call her.
Yeah, right.
I haven't even started on that. So when I realized I was getting a little heavy, I said, let me pull back. Because I do encourage her. I know she's smart. I know she can do it. But like you, just like with addiction, she got to want it. Or hit rock bottom and she don't see no bottom. So I'm trying to make her at least feel bottom by asking her these questions. So my next phase was, she says a lot that she has a mind of a 2-year-old or whatever. And my thing is, even if she does, when she gets out there, the world is going to deal with her because she's a woman.
Right.
So it's not going to be pretty and it sounds like being hard on her. But, I'm a tough love kind of person. But at this stage, it's tough love or none because she's not going to make it without that. So, and I need for her to make it. You know what I mean? I need for her to make it. So,
I don't care what anybody says. That common sense and that street sense, that's going to trump your book sense
every day.
That's what's going to help you. That's what's going to help you get the freaking book sense.
Girl,
you're not going to know how to manage your life.
Girl, you saying everything I was saying all my life when people are like, oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so smart. Even as valedictorian, I was very firm. I used to tell people, but they don't hear it because they see the grade. I would tell people, I was like, it's C students in here that's smarter than me. It's C students that's smarter than me. I knew how to study and retain information. It really didn't have a lot to do with my academic insight. You understand? And so I tell people all day, it's the real valedictorian of that school was sitting out in the damn audience somewhere as an average, or would you believe below average student, academic student. I don't know who that mud was, but it wasn't me. I was just smart enough. You know what I mean? So yeah, that common sense is gonna trump your. I promise you, it's gonna trump your academics and your ability to influence people with your personality. All those things are gonna trump. And yeah, that's gonna trump it every time. So I said, okay, well, and I knew she was acting tired to the point where she pretty much hung up on me. Really, I said, well, I'm gonna let you get some rest. I didn't want to, I didn't want to call and be heavy. I just want to tell you I love you and whatever. And so I just want you to think about some things. And she literally said, And then click. That was the last thing I heard. Cause I told her, I said, I'm gonna call you tomorrow too, cause I want to talk to you before you head out again. I said, cause there's some things that I just don't understand, and I'm concerned about you. And she probably feel like none of us, nobody's there for her.
Yep.
I know she feels like that. But she gonna feel like that because she keeps taking the wisdom and shitting on it.
Yeah.
And so, and that gets frustrating for people that want to help her. And, I was going, sometimes I post little random stuff. And I wanted to send out a random message to young people that got family in their lives that love them. And you genuinely feel like they don't. You genuinely feel like you don't have anybody just because there's dysfunction in your family. There's dysfunction in everybody's family. And that don't mean that them people don't care. Take some responsibility for your response to them loving you. But I didn't call her back the next night because I know she didn't want to talk to me, especially with the sense I was talking. She didn't want to hear that because she don't want to get down there and learn and see that I'm right. She don't want you don't want that, hands over both ears. Hear no evil. You don't want to know parts of that. But you're gonna have to deal with the headache when you hit the brick wall is what's gonna happen. So I know she really don't want to contact me right now. You know what I mean? After I done, so. Anyway, I didn't call her, but what I did do was, I knew she was leaving Sunday. So after I knew she was leaving, supposedly, because ain't no way, I was like, ain't no way she got a car that she don't know about, ain't never seen, ain't never drive, and she gonna take it to college. It ain't gonna happen. So I was like, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. I was like, but I don't know. I was like, well, our main thing was, even with all her personal mental trauma and all this other stuff, she is now gonna have a bill to repay on top of debt. So anyway, when she
you can't bankrupt it. I tried it.
Right. So look, when she
real talk. That's real talk.
right, it really is, and you have to have that kind of real talk. So when she got there, or when she supposedly got there, we was like on that Sunday, we was looking at each other like, well, this Sunday is the day she's supposed to get there, right? And so I said, so I texted her because I knew she didn't want to have to answer me directly when I asked her this question. Because look, this is what I had to ask her.
Yeah. I mean, he literally just said he didn't know.
And see, you know what? And I just feel like it wasn't a lottery or nothing, but she had an avenue and literally threw it away.
Yeah.
Literally threw it away. Oh boy, this is well, she's feeling like nobody's there for her and she have to fend for herself, and she does, but she's gonna go so deep that it really, really ain't gonna be nobody there. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see her do some shit like, and this is not an exaggeration, some shit like, exactly. And that's the thing with kids, like you can't even, and that's the reason why you can't even share things with them that you kind of should be able to share with them, because like, see me around people and people were smoking and they were like, I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Even when I was just going out to a lounge and having drinks or whatever, I would have a couple of drinks and someone want to buy me a drink and I would say, no, I'm full. I'm good. Or I got something to do tomorrow. I can't, nope. You know what I mean? But that's what adulthood is. You know what I'm saying? That's what adulthood is, Even though I'm definitely an advocate for cannabis, and I try not to call it weed and by the whatever name, but I'm an advocate for it. But at the same time, I'm that advocate that
there's some people out there that don't know how to manage.
Absolutely. And I used to say when it was new and it wasn't legal anywhere, I was just getting educated about it. I used to feel like, when people ask me, well, do you think it should be legalized? I would say I do think it should be legalized, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't want it legalized unless we could control it to where it wouldn't even do, not to where legally you can't do it unless you're over 30. I feel like unless we could find a way where it wouldn't do nothing to your body, it wouldn't even get you high unless you was over 30. Like that's the only time, because you ain't lived enough to know when to just be I mean, it is some 25-year-olds that are responsible with it. I mean, that's the truth. But to be safe, I would make that year 30. You 30-year-old, you got to get the chip to where you can't get, so as soon as you're born, you got to get the chip where you won't get high unless you turn 30.
Right.
Because I just myself now like a consultant for grown people who are venturing, because it's becoming legal, but for grown people who are venturing into it responsibly. And that doesn't include people calling themselves potheads or stoners or whatever young people are calling it. You know what I mean? Because they just want to, they talking, the advocates are going around talking about erase the stigma of what a stoner looks like. But then you go to your page because you're an advocate and you all half naked on your page. Baby, we ain't selling the same thing.
No responsibility. At least that's what it looks like.
Right. I'm like, we're not advocating the same thing. We're not advocating. I mean, I believe in it recreationally too, but I mean, it's just people that's out here talking about erase the stigma. Well, guess what? I don't want to go to none of the cannabis conventions because everybody there looks like exactly what the stigma is.
The stereotype.
You stereotype. Show me some people, some grown ass men in some ties. You know what I mean? Not that a tie means that you're a professional, because there's some professionals that don't wear a tie. But I'm just saying, y'all saying erase the stigma, but everybody at these conventions and events are the stigma of a freaking... That's not what it is. The whole point is to... But, maybe humans ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? Because common sense, like you started the conversation, common sense ain't common for real, for real. And it's okay to be silly and ridiculous and have deep, lofty thoughts that are funny and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, be... discussing something productive, something real. Whew. Anyway,
I thank you for that.
The whole time, I would present stuff that's like I said. I was like, well, did you get your job? Like I told you, we talked about a plethora of things, and then at the end of every one, I was like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how you're going to do this. Like if you're, and I tried to make it elementary for her. I'm like, that's all my point is. And it's not to say that she can't be great. I had a blend of them. Both. I don't know if I told you, but when I didn't come home on holidays, because they shut the dorm down on Thanksgiving through New Year, the whole month, they shut the dorm down. So nobody's even allowed to stay in the dorms. So I ended up apartment sitting because, it's a lot of people that got apartments, that are older. They got apartments that go to the school. Well, they don't necessarily want their apartment sitting open. You know what I mean? So it's easy to say, okay, well, it was 3 people that had an apartment together. I'll apartment sit for y'all over the holidays. I ain't got, I'm not going home. I ain't got nowhere to go. I can't afford shit. So, and they said, okay, well, cool. We don't have nothing, for no food or nothing. Cool, fine. But y'all got something. Y'all got a can something. But hell, they didn't have nothing. You know what they had in the cabinet? Some Nutrisystem diet program. Yeah. So that was nothing but teas and drinks. So I drank that, but I was running out of food. So you know what I did? This is so you know that I have hustler in me. I started out going and asking people if they had a dime for 10 pennies because nobody wants 10 damn pennies. So if they took the dime, that's fine. So I have another dime. You got a 10 pennies for a dime. But in most cases, you'd be surprised how many people don't want them damn 10 pennies. So they'll just give me a dime and say, forget it, don't worry about it. So that was working so well with dimes, I did it with quarters. When I got enough money, I would get bread and I would get cheese. There was sugar in the house. They did have sugar in the house, ironically, with the NutraSwiss system. So I made sugar cheese toast and survive on that the whole holiday month. You know what I mean? I made it happen. I made it happen. No money. Now, I was really blessed because there was a girl, and her name is Teresa, and I don't remember her last name to this day, but I needed $300 for books. And I think Mom and Daddy would have gave me the $300. But I went for used books, of course, and I needed $300. But I know they didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't want to ask them. I was the kind of person where it wasn't so much that they wouldn't have came up with it, but I didn't even ask them. So I needed $300. This heifer, she was a black girl because it wasn't a whole lot of black people. It was some black people though, and she came out of nowhere. And she gave me $300, and I told her I would have it back to her. I think my scholarship money or financial aid hadn't come in. I told her I would give it back to her in a week or two, something like that. Anyway, immediately I gave her $300 back. But I just looked at her because I ain't never known nobody to just jump up and volunteer to help nobody out with $300.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? I still got a picture of her. I wish I knew her last name. I would find her because I'm forever grateful. I never seen nothing like that before. But yeah, but as far as making it in the dorm, well, not in the dorms because I couldn't stay in the dorms. Not only everybody was going, I thought I was gonna be cool, but they was like, no, the dorms are being shut down. Everybody gotta go. You gotta go. You ain't gotta go home, but
Right.
And I done turned everybody's offer down to go home with them for the holidays because I feel like that's a family thing. I'm not coming to your house for the holidays. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, you different from me. I was going to everybody's house, whatever. If I didn't have to work. But that's the time I had to work anyway. So.
But ain't nothing wrong with it. But I was an introvert, like I still am. I wasn't really trying to, blend,
Yeah, I know.
So, you know what I mean?
Oh, I hope she doesn't start that.
Me too. That's my concern. I mean, if she does, I would really hate, because that could end up dangerous in this world. This really
and you know what? Speaking of,
recent
and we'll have her.
in recent years.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Within the next month, within the last month. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one thing in this conversation I was not aware of.
Yes, ma'am.
So now all of my concerns have turned to fears.
You know what I mean?
Girl, my concerns just turned to fears.
Yeah. Real talk, girl.
And I just don't. I'm trying not to entertain a worst case scenario, but I really. It's harder knowing that she has a relationship with because why wouldn't she be the first person she called, you know?
Yep.
Why wouldn't she be the first person she called and tell? And at the end of the day, she would feel justified in saying, well, she was the only one that was there for me.
Yep.
Cause she ain't gonna see all this trying to push her to do for herself, and she ain't gonna see this. And even if one day she does see it, she'll be able to look back and say, I wasn't listening to all that. She'll be able to say it if she ever matures, which has become now in my mind less likely, knowing that. It's a terrible thing to think, but knowing that she has that connection with kind of terrifies me. But and I just really, you know, they used to tell us it's a different world. It really is a different world, and something like this can, unfortunately, before it could end in tragedy, now it can very, very possibly end in tragedy. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's what I was like. And it was hard to have that conversation with her. Because when you have a conversation, a real talk conversation with somebody like that, that's going through that, then when they do hit the brick wall, you're the last person they want to hear that from. You're the last person they want to hear some real shit from. You know what I mean? You know? Even Adele can admit sometimes it's some things she don't want to come and tell me about somebody that she done entertained and now her feelings hurt. Because why? I would have done told her so. Don't nobody want to hear that. And people don't realize that I realize that don't nobody want to hear that. But the problem is that I'm the only one willing to say it. And if everybody else is enabling the behavior, then why not? That's how Trump became president. That's how Trump became president. It's scary because it makes you less... The irony is, it makes you less likely to want to help because what is she going to do with the help? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if I did have...
She's not gonna listen to reason though. If you give her some options, she gonna take the option that's not the most sensible.
Right, and even if you give her actual money, like if somebody gave her $1,000 or $2 to, okay, you figure out what you want to do, get it. I know, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like because I'm not either. So I mean, and I don't even have it. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, but my point is, even if someone had it to throw away, to burn, and gave it to her and say, and sat her down, and say, you need to get it together and figure out what you're gonna do with this, because this is it. You know, I worked 15-hour days to be able to do this. I know it's her age, so it ain't personal. But she don't appreciate what other people are having, the work that other people are having to do. Cause I'm gonna tell her the story. I wanted to tell her the story about a comedian. I want to give the comedian credit, but I don't remember who it was. I was a comedian I know that was going to, but I don't know him if I don't remember who it was, right? But that said that his car broke down on the side of the road. And people passing by, nobody helped, because that's what this world is, you know. And you can't. It could be a setup, you know what I mean? You can't help everybody.
Right.
So he wasn't getting no help. Nobody was trying to pull over, or he was trying to flag people down. Nobody was there for it. But when he got out of his car and got behind it and and took his shirt off, started pushing his own car, other drivers started pulling over to help him push the car. Because they know he's really trying to do it. So of course, the moral of the story is you got to show people. People want to help you, even if they have to hurt themselves, struggle to help you. But they ain't who gonna bend over backwards that you ain't even doing a front bend for? You ain't even bending over forward to touch it. They back bending in the car and doing round off and cartwheels that they ain't in the shape to do. And you want to even bend over and tie your shoes the front way? I get it what all them adults was going through when they was dealing with us. I mean, not us, me, you and I specifically, but us as a generation. I get it.
You know how young people come up with.
I was gonna say,
she doesn't know.
You can take.
She doesn't know.
You can take that to the bank that she made up a story. Cause when I talked to her, she made up so many stories, and she just don't know her. Got that. You know what I mean?
You should have said, I'm the storyteller, okay? I'm the story whisperer. That's what I do.
Y'all know I spot a lie from 18 miles away. Like I just know it.
I'll keep you posted on the shenanigans.
Please do.
I'm gonna call you and be like, girl, sit down.
Do it. Call me. Do it.
All right, girl. Bye.
I love you. All right.
Thank you.
No
Love you
problem.
too.
I love you
Bye.
so much.